Hey everybody, I'm George Conley from Scratch Golf Tips. Thank you very much for tuning into this video. Today we're going to be talking about an issue that many golfers have. There are two misses you can make impact-wise with an iron. It's either fat or thin. I already have a video on if you miss shots fat. You can watch that up there. And this video is about thinning irons. So, if you struggle with thinning irons, there are a couple of ways that you can go about it. There are a couple of ways that a thin strike happens. I'll be going over those ways, some fundamentals you can change to prevent those ways, and then I'll end off by giving you a couple of drills so that the knowledge you learn won't be put to waste immediately and you can continue working on not thinning your irons anymore. In order to prevent thinning irons, we need to understand what your miss with a thinned iron is. So I'm going to bring you down to a demonstration right here and we can see what your miss is. So if we have a ball on turf and then we have an iron or wedge in hand, this is a 7-iron. Thinning the ball would be, generally speaking, contact that is low on the face. So if we have a ball on turf like this, the goal with any iron shot is to strike the ball first on the center of the face and then have that club face continue into the ground throughout impact. A thin miss is when you hit the ball off the bottom of the face, usually here, flushes around the middle of the face, thin being the bottom, and you can usually feel it in your hands. It may sting, and you'll always see the ball flight kind of be a low, piercing flight that goes much longer than you want it to. Now, during impact, a thin strike can manifest itself in two ways. The first is if you come in and you bottom out too quickly, and you don't hit it fat, but you bottom out too quickly, and then you come up and make contact with the leading edge here. Because you're coming up, you're almost scooping at the ball. If you've ever heard the term scooping at the ball, not letting the loft do its job. If you're scooping at the ball, you're gonna come under it, and then that leading edge, you're gonna make contact right here. There's gonna be no spin. Spin comes from the grooves, the ball coming into these grooves. If you're using the leading edge, there's no spin, there's no distance control. So that's one way that a thin shot will manifest itself. Now the second way that a thin shot will manifest itself is by this leading edge not coming down soon enough. In the first one, it comes down too soon and you're scooping at the ball. The second one, the club is coming through and you're making contact before the club has really gotten to the bottom. And the bottom is going to be too far past. You're making a divot too far past the ball, which will lead to a very similar strike right along that leading edge. Again, to reiterate loosely, the perfect strike with an iron is to hit the ball in the center of the face and start your divot, start the leading edge into the ground as soon after that ball leaves the face. So with thinning a shot, that leading edge is either getting down too early or too late. So let's talk about some of the causes of this. If you think that you are thinning the ball because of the first reason, that leading edge coming down too quickly, you'll honestly be thinning that ball because of that scooping method. If you don't trust the loft of a club, you're gonna scoop at it, your wrists are gonna get under the ball, and you might make decent contact by scooping at it, maybe 1 out of every 5 shots, but more often than not, you're gonna either chunk the ball, which is a very frustrating miss, so it'll just go a couple yards in front of you, or you're gonna hit that deep thin that goes way over the green. If your thin miss is that second miss that I showed, where the leading edge isn't getting down quick enough, that could be for a number of reasons as well. One of the main reasons for that second thin miss could even be something as simple as ball position. If the ball is too far back in your stance, and you have a fairly consistent low point in your swing, if that ball is well before that low point, you're going to hit that second thin miss that I showed. And oppositely, if you have that first thin miss where you're going to be scooping the ball a little bit more, that ball might be too far forward in your stance, where if you just bring it back a little bit, then you could reduce the amount of thin shots. The reason that I bring up ball position first before any of the fundamentals is ball position is such an easy thing to fix in the swing. It's literally just moving the ball back a little bit or moving your feet forward or backward a little bit. So before you try and reconstruct the wheel and change everything in your swing, try and adjust ball position. Now, if you've tried that ball position trick and it really isn't yielding the results that you want, you might have to go a little bit more fundamentally deep into this. One drill I love to do when I'm thinning shots on the range is I take a 4-iron, I tee the ball up as high as the tee can go, so it's a good couple inches off the ground, and then I just focus on smothering that ball and really exaggerating weight on my front foot and covering that ball and hitting it into the ground. This drill is simple, it feels odd at first, but it can really give you a great feeling for the low point in your swing. And if you have a good feeling and good control over that low point, you'll find consistent impact with your irons much easier to attain. Now I've got one drill for both the first thin miss and the second thin miss that I showed you, and both of these drills are sure to help you long term as you continue to try and combat thinning shots. If you struggle with the first thin miss where you are sweeping at the ball, one of the simplest drills in the book and one of my personal favorites, the towel drill, is going to be wildly beneficial for you. You can see it on your screen right now. Just placing a towel a few inches behind your ball and maintaining downward impact, keeping your hands forward, even exaggerating having your weight on your front foot is huge. Just avoid that towel in the downswing. Admittedly, once you step up to this drill, it is a little bit visually uncomfortable to see something pretty close to your ball and right behind it, but that's the point of drills. Drills should make you uncomfortable, and then you gain confidence with them as time goes on. The only way to improve in golf is by making uncomfortable changes. And a great drill that I would recommend for that second thin miss, which is when you're not getting the leading edge down fast enough, is the tee pass ball drill, which is just as it would sound. You have your ball, and then just an inch or two past the ball, you put a tee down in the ground and have about a ½ inch of that tee above the turf. You're gonna wanna strike the ball cleanly and make sure that you cover that tee and get that tee in your divot as well. This will allow your divot to not be as far in front of the ball and have it closer to the ball, which will lead to that leading edge getting down faster, thus insinuating flush contact. Those are two great drills you can do, and one resource that I will always recommend with any swing change you're trying to make is record your swing. Now, not only can you record your swing from the down the line angle or the caddy angle, you can also, if you have slow motion on a phone or you have a buddy or family member's phone that you can record on, you can film slow motion of the impact point of your ball. So if you put your phone down right in front of your ball and you get slow motion of when your club is coming in, you can diagnose what your miss is if you're getting any better or worse with your thin miss. Recording your swing is always so helpful and often overlooked by many people trying to improve their game. And finally, another great resource you can use is impact tape, which is just tape that you can put on a club face. It's very inexpensive. I'll put a link to it down below. You can get it on Amazon or eBay, wherever you want. And once you hit a ball, the ball will make an impression on that tape, and then you can see exactly where the ball is. So if you're seeing a lot of wear on the tape in this area, you know you're thinning, hitting it off the toe or heel, impact tape is another great resource, which will be linked in the description. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. I know that thinning irons is a big issue that a lot of people have, so I hope that this cleared some things up. Once again, if you have any questions, I respond to all comments down below. I also respond to any messages on any of the Scratch Golf Tips social media platforms, and you can email me personally at scratchgolftips@mail.com. If you like the apparel that I wear, this is John Morgan Sportswear. SGT is a proud partner of John Morgan Sportswear. You can shop their apparel in the description below as well. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in, everybody. Play well and take care.